Greetings, fellow vaulters. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Biotech Doomsday Vault, episode 56, Cohort. The brief recap would be that last stream, we had fully survived the reactor raids, and it is now spun up and ready. For whatever reason, in game design I guess, once the reactor is ready, you no longer receive the reactor raids, so you can see all of... Actually, that looks very dangerous. Look at that. Oh boy. It's hard to... I mean, we weathered it really well because we are in Mount Weather. That's a reference that, well, some of you grounders might understand. Yeah, that's a lot of raids for this pacifistic family. But we're through it all, and that's great. So we are currently building the core and the cluster, but the ship is likely to be ready before the families are. So the last requirement that we have not yet fulfilled is this ship is a 3-generation ship, and as such, one of the 2nd generation, that being Hyas, Mayhem, Nella, Carlotta, Jean-Paul, they need to have a child. I know, I thought that they would have a child before the ship was built, but now it's really strange that that's the last thing. It's like arranged marriage pressure from parents, and it's a little disturbing, but I'm not going to change the rules. So here's my current plan. My current plan is as follows. I am going to let Carlotta, because she is far more the most likely candidate to get in a relationship, I'm going to have Carlotta fraternize with whoever she wants for the next 12 days, because Mayhem and Carlotta are both on a 12-day cooldown for direct romance attempts. After 12 days, some very serious intervention is going to be employed. But you can think of it as for the best or for the betterment of the community, because this community really shouldn't be on this planet any longer than they have to be. So that's sort of the concept. I will leave things up to the fates for a limited time only, and then I will step in, intervening on the behalf of everybody else. So with that said, I am going to try to set it up so that there is the most possible time to spend with her cohort. Her cohort being people of similar age. So that would be Shane, Yaroslav, Thomas, and Mayhem. And I just need to find Yaroslav. I don't think it's going to be Yaroslav, given that he's a psychopath. That he's probably not going to be the one to... But who knows? Who knows? So there we go. We have 5. And then, of course, they have to mimic the same sort of schedule. So Thomas, Yaroslav, and Mayhem, and... Shane. Shane is a little awkward because he's a night owl. Alright, then the other thing I'm going to do is I am going to force them to work. Or, in the case of Shane, sleep. And then I'm going to have them recreate together. So that is even more chances to overlap. And that way they will spend a pretty fair amount of time together to sort of maximize the chance for an organic relationship. But this is really not that much different than a reflection of real life society, right? You know, when you're a kid, you go to a classroom for 8 hours a day and recess and lunch and all that stuff, where, you know, work, which would be learning, and you're all sort of stuck together. And that is the petri dish that is teenage relationships for the most part. So in this case, it's not so much that I am tinkering as I'm just setting up the scenario and the situation to reflect what I think will be most likely to be effective in encouraging a relationship. There's also, yes, as Turtle Sandwich points out, somewhat of an advantage to have worse recreation items so that they have to spend more time recreating in order to fulfill it. But if they are forced in the same room during the recreation hours, they will... See, this is what's weird, is I wish that recreation could be bound. Like, I wish Okay, maybe not. But it would be useful, I'll put it this way, that you could link zoning to time schedules. Because right now, they are on a recreation time schedule, but someone like Shane, I'm assuming, has recreation maxed out. Yes, it is indeed maxed out. And as a result, Shane has gone back to work because there is no more recreation that he could benefit from. And as the game stands, the zoning can't be changed other than manual input. So it can't be like, during meditation hours, you are zone restricted to the meditation zone. During work hours, you're zone restricted to wherever you specifically work. And then so on and so forth. So, yeah. I'm going to intervene somewhat. But I'm going to intervene kind of limitedly until essentially until the cooldowns are done. Because there's a romance cooldown here of 12 days. So once the romance cooldown is done, me as a storyteller will heavily intervene and sort of force relationships to happen that otherwise wouldn't have organically happened. A lot of pressure on Carlotta. It's too bad that that Hyas isn't a little bit older. As if Hyas was like 16, it would be far less pressure for a specific individual to carry that torch. So here is 10. Actually, given the... Let me think about this too. Given that the colonists were the original 6, I might... Because I know we won't be able to path here, I'll have to dig around. But I might end up designing it with like the 6 original colonists in an upper section. And then... but this is designed in such a way that it's like, doesn't allot for pairs. So I don't know. Let's forget that design, because it's going to be harder to actually build and fulfill. So there is 14, or 12 rather, caskets. And we'll just see how that works. Will I wait until the kids are grown? The requirement is 3 generations. 3 generations means... take that very literally. And I think you can answer the question yourself. If you had in a room a parent, a grandparent, and a child, is that 3 generations, yes or no? And if yes, then doesn't it fulfill the requirement? It's kind of the way that I'm analyzing it. So there's a gene pack of kind here that I haven't banked yet, so I should get that bank built too. And let's check for hunting. Oh no, just 1 raccoon. How is your health? Not great. Yeah, there's really nothing to hunt out here. Ooh, what's going on? Wasters of Fortune. 2 groups of Virus Army Waster raids signaled to attack me for stuff. Yeah, no. I don't need stuff. I don't need to risk people's lives for stuff. That makes no sense. Taking a look at some of our youngest, Jean-Paul here is just had a birthday and hit 2. So we'll likely hit 3 this stream, but not likely to become any more than just a very young child. I also still need to finish painting some of these bedrooms. They had previously been unsmoothed, and still there's smoothing tasks left to do. We are growing a whole lot of Tinctoria, but I'm currently out of it, so it's going to be a minute until I have the Tinctoria in order to finish that task. Airborne, Estervele, thank you for the resubs. Cheers. And then Zotrana, I forgot to cover this in the recap, but Zotrana here is one of the refugees who got in a social fight with the other refugees and died. All the other refugees betrayed me as a result of her death, even though they committed that crime. I got blamed for it. And then we decided as a group to resurrect her. And so she is currently a guest, and when her resurrection sickness wears off, she's likely to just leave on her own free will. Oh, paint the pew? Will do. Zalek is 8. Next age up is at 10. Zalek's about to be 9, so also not that far from having a birthday. And those are the only non-adults that I have. So we've been doing pretty good. We also added one of the refugees. Madsen here offered to join, and I accepted. I am... You know, one thing that I could consider that I just realized is I think it is pretty reasonable to overwrite Madsen's Hussar genes. Remove the Hussar, because Hussars really just don't have a place in our colony as a hyper-aggressive battle monster. It's kind of what the Hussars are. And overwrite the genes with potentially kind or other genes. And I will ask you all if you think that is the right call. So here are the current genes that I have. Ooh, Tech Noir with an inspiration. Let's try for some art. I'll do that in just a second. But first, let's do queuing up art. So this is Carlotta's. This is Tech Noir's. So I'll just do a standard large art, I think. Maybe out of a different stone block material because I'm kind of out of slate. So prediction. Quality, Masterwork Plus or not Masterwork Plus. It is up. And I just need to make sure that Tech Noir is, oh, yeah, making slate art already. Perfect. My ducks got the plague, or one of them did. Should we change MB Madsen's genes? Yes or no? So let's take a quick look to analyze it. In terms of the genes I have, Zalek is about to bank kind, so I'm going to wait for Zalek to bank kind first. So taking a look at the genes, we could give Madsen very fast runner, very happy, kind to instinct, robust, super fast wound healing, dead calm. There are a lot of positive genes that we could offer Madsen, and then Madsen would of course lose. Shooting would go down to 2 skill, no passion. Melee would go down to 1 skill, no passion. But social would go up to 8. No, social would go up to 0. Wouldn't change. Art would go up to 1. Plants would go up to 5. We could also make a pain stopper to help with the wimp trait as well. If I... never mind, I don't have that research. So I take that part back. But, there you go. 5 minutes to vote on whether or not we change Madsen's genes around, if you think it's worth it, or not. Because if Madsen is coming on the generation ship, it might not be a good idea to bring someone whose sole genetic purpose is to murder others on our spaceship. Just a thought. Have I done bionics on my colonists? Right now, I am dedicating all of the advanced components for shipbuilding, so I'm not considering doing bionics at this moment, as shipbuilding is a goal of this series, and bionics are not a goal of this series. Where did Tech Noir... Oh, you just stopped. Now let me get back to art. Let's actually try... You know, maybe we'll go with silver. I have a lot of silver. Or no, you know, I have a lot of jade. We'll try a jade art. For the inspiration. So for reference, Tech Noir is a 12 artist. Probably won't push 13 in time. But that prediction's already... the prediction period is already over. The bedrooms for Madzin and soon-to-be Jean-Paul are almost done. Just a little bit of smoothing left to do. My builders are pretty much preoccupied trying to haul materials to the cryptosuit caskets. It's difficult to source the components and advanced components. And Tech Noir is well underway making that jade sculpture. I'm not going to force Tech Noir to do the work, though. So that mental breaks are avoided. We are getting close to cleaning up the corpses that we've got. In and around the outside. So that's still something that I've yet to fully do, because we got a lot of raids. But we're working on it. Yeah, there's just a few left. Maybe like 10 or so. Dry Moonlight, how is your health? Perfect. You've been tended with herbal meds, and you are not likely to succumb to your illness. Alright, I'm going to start calling in additional trade caravans, specifically of exotic goods. There's a possibility of being able to buy gene banks of useful genes for people in the colony. We are just about done mining up the steel nodes that we have here. There's one more steel node yet to be exhumed or mined up, and then it's just left to hauling and stone cutting. These tunnels here are not illuminated, so they're the most likely tunnels to become infested with bugs. But that's fine. They are east of my airlocked boundaries, so they're very easy to smoke out. Shouldn't be that much of a problem. Man, the path that these guys take to the shipbuilding is really dreadfully inefficient. I could... Yeah, how about I do that? It's not necessary, but I'm going to... Oh, no, I just realized this is thin rock roof. I don't want to go through there. That's why I hadn't done it up until now. Yeah, there's just not a quick way to get from the workshop to the ship without cutting through the farm. So I think what I'll do... I'm a little tempted to just destroy some of these hydroponic benches to clear a more walkable path. It's only 4 benches that would go. Yeah, I'm just going to do that. I think the amount of rice that I lose as a result of that is so negligible to us at this point that it can be easily ignored. I don't appreciate the skills of a hussar, says Madzin himself. Well, you are a very bad hussar, given that you are a wimp. So, although I might not appreciate the skills of a hussar, you are the worst example of a hussar I've ever seen. I know that sounds like shots fired, but you're wimpy, and your natural skills of shooting and melee are 2 and 1 with no passions. So how you ever qualified for the hussar program boggles my mind entirely. Hey, good deeds do get rewarded. Zatrana decided to join us because we resurrected her when she was murdered by her own compatriots. Cool. Zotrana is a Bloodlust Night Owl. Pretty good in mining. Decent in melee. Can help on the front with melee. You are going to be put to work. How old are you? 33. So you're not an appropriate... Well, actually, you're in an allowed age for someone like Mayhem, but maybe not age appropriate, as Cathanon is also not age appropriate. In fact, it would not be a terrible idea for Zotrana and Cathanon to... I am going to play Matchmaker. That's what I'm going to do. So, hey, you are going to have romantic feelings about Cathanon all of a sudden. You're not going to know why, but Mayhem is going to be snickering to himself about that. The reason being, let me explain. A, I really don't want a 33-year-old Zotrana or a 33-year-old or 34-year-old now Cathanon to enter a relationship with Carlotta, Mayhem, or anyone else, right? Because that age gap is a little bit disturbing. And then also, they are literally the exact age, or just about 1 year apart. So kind of a perfect matchmaking there. So another thing I could do for Zotrana here. What is your current... Cathanon is plus 40. Okay, so what I could also try to do is to give Zotrana, like, very happy and psychic bonding. And maybe kind instinct. And that would help to encourage a relationship. So I'm just going to go to do that. And then as soon as that Xenogerm is done, I will take a look at the Madsen Xenogerm as well. So you, friend, let's see. You are going to be on armor, if you can. And you still want to be a vegetarian because you and Madsen both have Zootan Army. So we have two people with Zootan Army, and Conversion Ritual is still on cooldown. So that's one of those things that that we're going to have Sapo continually try to convert. So it looks like Madsen and Zotrana have the same conversion reduction, certainty reduction. So I'm going to go for Zotrana first. Or Madsen first, rather. Am I worried about the complexity of those? No, I'm not. We have a lot of food, so I don't think it's going to be much of an issue. Okay, 41. And then this is a 3-day cooldown for the next time we can use it. Oh, you're not wearing clothing. There you go. The other thing we have to do is to have you avoid pollution, because you don't have a mask or organs that allow for pollution protection. I will allow you to mine. For now, I don't think I'm going to put you on smithing, because as a level 4 crafter, you're not going to be able to smith really anything. Madsen can go on research, though, to start making the Xenogerms. But man, that's a population. 20? Alright, how is Dry Moonlight doing? Totally fine. And Tech Noir is having a hard time finishing that art project. Low motivation? Maybe. Crafting would put her in the same room as you? True. Very true. She is a night owl, though. So if I really wanted to min-max your chances, I would have to put you on a night owl schedule as well. The thing about crafting is she's not able to smith components. That's a level 8 skill. So there's really not a lot for her to functionally do in this room as a crafter or a smith with not level 8 crafting skill. because at level 8 you can start making the components, but if you're not level 8, I really don't have anything for her to do. I could have her grind for skill, but that means like wasting materials and sitting on a electric smithy or something. I could have her stone cut, but that's already allowed, so that makes no difference. She's already going to be doing that anyway. So Trana's skill, if you're wondering, is 12. Or Tech Noir, rather. So Trana's is 4. And this art is almost done. Taking a look at the ship, we have 2 pods ready. And the launch report, if we needed to go in an emergency with 2 pods, at least 2 people could get out. And obviously we're going to want to expand these pods. So right now it looks like they're just waiting on advanced components. Some of them are waiting on steel and regular components too, but it's mostly advanced components that is going to be the bottleneck. And this sculpture is not Masterwork Plus. Just a standard old excellent. Given that it is a double helix, I am going to put this thing in the hospital. Seems a fitting place for a double helix sculpture. Thomas, Shane, and Yaroslav really slacking on the meditation hour. And then Mayhem, once Mayhem has enough words of love, psi focus to inversely hit Cathanon with it for Zertrana, I will do that as well. I also missed dog treats, didn't I? How is my dye? Oh, dyes are good. Pet the dogs too. Sure thing. So now that we have the dyes in stock, we are still waiting on the smoothing. I think the smoothing is taking a while because our constructors are having to do a very long round trip for shipbuilding. But with the dyes, I can start dyeing the clothing that we're wearing so that everyone sort of looks the part. So Mayhem, words of love, Cathanon for Zertrana. And then this bench here, I'm going to have 4 specifically Zertrana, because it's a closer bench to Cathanon than the further one. And that, yeah. It might not be flirt distance. I could switch it with the drug lab. That's what I was thinking of doing. It's going to be a little weird that the drug lab is, yeah, well, whatever. I don't care. It's going to be weird that the materials for the drug lab aren't stored next to the drug lab, but I'm also not making medicine at the moment, so I don't care. Oh. How? Well, I guess no xenogerms required. Here, let's cancel that. Because, yeah. That's pretty easy. Why do I have 2 comms consoles? One of the learning types for children is radio learning. And if you don't have multiple comms consoles to accommodate their radio learning, they can miss out on lessons. And hey, new lovers. No psychic bonding required. It wouldn't hurt to also add psychic bonding, so that that's probably something I'll end up doing. Oh, ideology forbids. Oh, that's well then. Where is a simple bed? Steel bed. Yoink or yoink. Their ideology forbids sharing beds that are not of people who are wed, I'm assuming. Spouse only. Okay. Whatever. You insist. It's fine. Must be really compatible? Yeah, no kidding. Well, same age, and both interested in one another. It's kind of the slam dunk of RimWorld. Given that if we hopped on, oh my god, what is the dating app's name? OkCupid or something? Like, the only other people on this entire world are wasters that want to, you know, murder us. So, makes it very, very easy to agree. So given that that has already worked, I'm just going to add psychic bonding to Zatrana. I don't really even need kind instinct or very happy. I mean, I'm keeping everyone pretty happy as it is. Well, no, maybe I'll do kind instinct as well. Do I have someone that's already kind as an example? Yeah. So one of the things is there's a global certainty loss factor, aka easier to convert for them. So kind and psychic bonding. I don't think I really need very happy, as happiness hasn't really been a problem. I'm also going to add robust. If she's going to be a brawler for us, robust makes sense. To be honest, so does super fast wound healing, but I don't have the complexity to accommodate that, so that has to be left out. Alright. And then we'll go back to Madsen and figure out what we can do about Madsen's genome. Yoda does have a holiday sweater, yeah. I don't think that there's a person who would be a good match for Madsen. There is not a woman of similar age. We'll figure the rest out. So Madsen, after being removed from the Hussar Xenogerm, won't be a good combatant. Might be a good doctor. But that would be about it. Doctor and researcher. Which is fine. By no means is that a complaint. Just a observation. Another thing I just realized is I am remarkably low on gold. So given any opportunity to purchase gold, I should seize it. Because there is no gold known to us underground at the moment, I don't think. Lady Shell, thank you for the bits. And Guitar Lillian, thank you for the resub. Cheers to you both. Oh, something else I forgot to do is empty out the ambrosia from the transport pod. I was just looking at the amount of beer that I have, and I was like, the amount of beer that I have isn't great. It's okay, but it could use some love. With the change to the... Here, let me actually just deconstruct this now, because it's been taking forever. With the change to these basins, I'm going to need to paint the floors here. Because the stealth conservation of paint is now being revealed to be an issue. And let me reroute the power so it is not so ugly. There we go. That should look okay. So what should this look like? Let's see. The other rooms goes in to here and here, and then the yellow goes up. Blue on the sides, and then silver in the middle. Is that silver? Okay, I think that's silver. What about Thomas's serum? Thomas is no longer addicted to anything. That's been the case for a little while now. I don't think we have anyone with addictions, but let me do a health check. For any that I don't know about. So Madsen has a bunch of scars. Scratch scars. An arm and leg. We could replace the arms and legs. And then Zertrana has a arm scar. But like I said earlier, the likelihood of me making bionics is basically 0 until the ship is done. Ship comes first. Well, I don't think we need more food, but it wouldn't hurt. A xenogerm has been completed. Okay. A little extra food consumption, but nothing that's going to be a problem for us, I don't think. And then for Madsen. Kind and happy. The very opposite of a hussar. Yeah. That's all we really need. I don't think I need dead calm. Especially if we're kind and happy. The chance of dead calm being useful is very low. It's a very nice hospital with that that sculpture there. I will paint this red. I don't know. We'll see how it looks red. No doctor on duty. All right, Tech Noir, hop up. And you wait. Tech's coming. Yeah, this is not all gold floors. Gold floors don't even look tiled anyway. If you had gold floors, they would look like regular steel floor. They would look kind of like sterile floors. I mean, that's more the pattern. Looks like this. With the block pattern instead. Yeah, this is just all dyes. For the most part. But it is tiled. Alright, so Zertrana, you're all set. Next time... So the caveat here is Zertrana is not going to cyclically bond with Cathodon until Zertrana converts. So that's going to be important, is to run conversions on her and also run conversions on Madsen. Madsen, we decided, is going first. But in hindsight, Zertrana would be a better first person to do it on. A little late for that, though. A combat supplier. Orbital combat supplier. I don't even have a component. I'll probably end up moving this trade beacon around. Did I ever lose this trade beacon up here? I don't think... Oh, I have gold up here. Oh, okay. Yeah, right. I remember buying that now. So given I have that trade beacon has never gone down, I can always move my trade beacon around. When can they attempt to flirt again? 9 days, or 9.7. Dry Moonlight no longer has the plague, I'm assuming, if you're walking around. Yep. And we are up to 5 pods and climbing. Quick. Cool. We already have fast, so quick is just a downgraded version of fast. Doesn't make much sense to buy. Circadian Influence could be useful as a tech print. I'll buy it because we just don't have a lot of other things to even spend it on, so it wouldn't hurt. And then the old Locust Armors that have worn out, I will part with. We have a ton of spare guns, probably more than we need, but I am not, I'm not currently hurting for money, so I'm pretty good with just leaving it. Also, realize that I need to move this beacon a little bit, because this Locust Armor didn't fall under a beacon's control for me to be able to sell. All right. Yeah, I thought the double helix in the operating room made the most sense. And painted it red. Maybe silver. I think it would look better painted the color of the floor. Or to put it in the middle of the room. Maybe I'll just put it in the middle of the room. Hey, bud. Lots of barking. Bork, bork, bork. So I think I will start to try to convert Zertran instead. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Biotech Doomsday Vault, which originally streamed live on Twitch December 20th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my gaming community, Rhadamant.com also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this series. I'll catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow vaulters.